Hello everyone, this is Lorraine from Card Creations, and today's card project is a birthday card. And I've got a stamp that I added to the front of the card, and it says, "Wishing you the happiest birthday ever." And then on the inside I have a few mats to finish it off. But we'll go ahead and get started, and I'll show you some of the materials I used to create the card. To begin with, you need a 5.5 by 7.5 card base. This is what size of card this is. And I've used a couple of the Spellbinder's Nestabilities, and for my sentiment I've used the second largest, and I ran it through my Cuttlebug and cut that out. And then for the frame on the front of the card, I used, let's see, I think I used this size here and that one. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, fourth one. Let me just remove this because now it's been a while since I made the card and I kind of forgot. Okay, so I used that one and then the larger one as the layer. So there we go. Alright, and this is Labels 2 is the name of this die. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start with our mat. I also used this large Martha Stewart punch to create this beautiful edge on the bottom of one of my mats. And this will be the second mat that I add to my card. So we'll go ahead and start with our pink mat, which will go on here. And then we've got this mat with the lovely border at the bottom. So, and I've added one layer of foam tape to the back of this card. But what we're going to do first is add our ribbon. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it. Let's see, I'm not sure if I add my ribbon before or after. Let's see. Okay, we're going to go ahead and attach it to our pink mat first. Got a little confused there. So this will go on here. Okay, and this is just one layer of foam tape. If you don't have the Spellbinder dies that I showed you, you can cut squares and maybe an oval with your Cricut, and you'll definitely get a very similar look. I've been hooked on the Spellbinder die lately, and have been making several cards with those elements. So I'll go ahead and add our next layer, which is this really pretty pink paper. And once again, I've got a layer of foam tape on here. I love adding layers. It adds so much to the card. So we'll go ahead and peel back the backing on our foam tape. Make sure we have the flowers going in the right direction. And these are all squares and rectangles that I'm adding to the card. Okay, so we'll go ahead and tie our ribbon next. And I like using the wider ribbon. It just makes everything come together with a wider ribbon. Since you have a larger card, you're able to do that. Okay, so we'll just move this down a little, right about there. And then center it. And then we'll go ahead and add our adhesive to the back. and attach it to our base card. It adds a little bit extra to the bottom portion there since I've got my ribbon. Okay. Make sure we've got our card opening in the right direction. And there's that. And we'll go ahead and assemble our greeting. And I'm going to add this way with the little points to the top. And one layer of foam tape once again. See, this comes together really quick because it's basically square and rectangles. Okay, we'll add that to the center. And then, of course, our little greeting. Add that there. And then for the finishing touch, I'm going to add one of my homemade stick pins. Let me add that to the ribbon. And what I've been doing lately is feeding it through the ribbon and then adding a few beads at the bottom. And then adding my little cap that I showed you how to make. Okay, and then we have our pretty stick pin added to the front of our card, and we're going to go ahead and move into the inside. I've just cut a square mat and then added one of the die cuts from, once again, my Spellbinder die, labels 2. We'll go ahead and attach that. And I really have gotten into decorating the inside of the card as well. It's just as important, I believe, as doing the outside. And then I've got a little mat with a little banner at the top. And there we go. We've got our card all ready to go for a special birthday. There we have it. Thanks for joining me today.